Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, everybody.
Saludos. How is everyone? We hope everything flowing very well. So let's start today.
Yes, so I will share the screen.
We continue with the chapter number 8, Patthana. We encourage you, if you haven't seen the previous sessions, to see them because we will need later on to have some sense of all the forces that are interacting in nature. And well, the videos are uploaded every week, as you know. So we continue today with the third session, exploring the Paccayas. Everybody ready? Let's remember our teachers and our teachers' teachers, going back hundreds and hundreds of years back to the Buddha. And we pay homage to the sublime, to the victorious one, to the totally self-enlightened one. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Respect them. We remember all the teachers we have had. May everybody be well, peaceful, and safe. Okay, everybody ready? Ready? Let's go, dears.
Yeah. So welcome, everybody. And today, as Bhante said, we are going to continue with the exploration on the analytical exposition of the conditions, which in Pali is Paccayaniddeso. This is the third session. So today we will continue with number 10, the number 10th condition. So there are totally 24 of them, and we covered 9 in the previous sessions. And today we will see how far we can go. Actually, the ones that are coming, many of them are quite, the content are quite similar. The condition is different, like how they affect each other is different, but what is being, what conditions what is quite similar, so we can understand easily. So this section, actually, the Paccayaniddeso, it might be a little bit, at some point, repetitive or a little bit details. So I hope we all have patience to go through all the ingredients, because if we do it very briefly, we just say, oh, this kind of condition does this kind of condition to this, and that's it. We can finish it also very quickly in that way. But if we want to go through a little bit more details, then we need to go through the Paccayaniddeso.
Yeah, the medium level that we chose together. You remember we found a good balance, not too deep because it will be endless, or not too shallow. So I think it's good we go in this line.
Yes. So today we are going to start with Purejāta-paccayo, the Prenascence-condition.
Something that born before, that thing that born before conditions something. It was present already.
Yes. So something that born before actually is the being there before is the condition for the other things to arise. So the paccaya supports the Paṭicca-samuppada by being there before.
For us to be seated right now, there was already a chair would have been born before. We need to be there. That's why we can be sitting right now.
Well, let's see the example given by the teachers. So Purejāta actually means, Pure means before, Jata is a reason, arising, a reason,
like
born. No?
Like Jati, you remember?
Jati, Paccaya, Jara, Marana, Jati. Jata here is a reason. So a reason before. So a reason before, but this is the main point, it still have to be existing at the moment when to become a condition for something else to arise. Now, if it existed before, but it passed away already, so in that case, that is not this kind of condition, is something else. No, so this kind of condition is something that have arisen before and still exist at the time when the conditioned states, the Paṭicca-samuppada, arise. No.
Yes.
Okay, so Purejāta, in the ancient teachers, they compare it to the sun or the moon, which exists before human beings. No? So the sun and the moon, the earth is already there. And because they are there and they still exist, therefore they support humans and all the beings that lives on earth. No?
We can be living on this planet because it was already there, something to hold us.
So we depend on the sun. And so the sun has been here in the world for many, many, many years before human being exists. No? So like the sun exists already before and is still existing. Therefore, it supports humans or beings that live there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the Paccaya-niddesa, the first verse, and see how what is being conditioned by what. And in this category, Purejāta, there are also a few subcategories. Now we will see. The first one, the first one is Watu Purejāta. Watu means base. So in this case, in this category, what exists before that serves as a support, in this case, is the base. No? So if we talk about base, then we understand it is the eye base, ear base, no space, and all this. So now let's see the verse, and then we will see in more details.
Cakkayatanam Cakkhu Viññāna Dhatuya Tam Sampayuttakanam Ca Dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo. It born before, yes.
So Cakkayatanam ayatana, the base, no, in chapter 7.
The base of the eye.
So Cakkayatana means the pasada rupa, no, sensitive eye sensitivity. Cakkayatanam, Cakkhu Viññāna Dhatu. So Cakkhu Viññāna Dhatu, as we have already seen previously, the two kinds of Cakkhu Viññāna, Kusala Vipāka and Akusala Vipāka. No? When it says Dhatu, that means both of them. So Cakkhu Viññāna Dhatu. So Cakkayatanam until here, the Paccaya, then we go to the Paṭicca-samuppada. Cakkhu Viññāna Dhatu. Tam Sampayuttakanam Ca Dhammanam. Those cetasikas that accompany these two type of Viññāna, Cakkhu Viññāna. Purejāta-paccayo. So the eye base, the sensitivity, eye sensitivity, supports the Cakkhu Viññāna to arise as a base that already exists before the Cakkhu Viññāna arises.
Visual consciousness arose. Yes.
Yes.
So because we have an eye, we can see finally. Because we have an eye, visual consciousness can arise. That eye was born before the consciousness arose. That was the condition. It was a Purejāta, born before, hence we can see.
So a little bit more details just for your information. Remember that rupa lasts 17 moments, 17 mind moments, right? It lasts longer than mind, no? So therefore it existed before, and when it is in its most it arises and then it stays and then it passes away. Yes, remember? So upada, titi, banga, no, arises, exists, and pass away like the mind. But for rupa, it arises one moment, then it exists for 15, and then it passes away one moment. Yeah. In this case, yes. So in the Cakkhu-pasada, it arises. And then when it is existing, in this moment, it is strong enough to support Cakkhu Viññāna to arise.
The eye consciousness.
So when Cakkhu Viññāna is arising, this Cakkhu-pasada specifically is still there, is still existing, no? It's still existing, yes? Then it passes away together when the eye door process finished, remember? After 17 moment eye door process finished, that Cakkhu-pasada also pass away, yes? So in this case, it arises before, already ready as the condition, then Cakkhu Viññāna arise, they go through together the eye door process, then it pass away together.
And then a new rupa or pasada rupa arising, and then another consciousness will come and they will be making like these waves between matter and mind happening, between the lifespan of the rupa and the mental process.
Cakkhu-pasada, this rupa, they don't arise one by one, no, remember? There is a lot, yes. So the point now is Cakkhu Viññāna catch which Cakkhu-pasada as a base, yes. So it needs to catch the one that is ready to become the base in the right timing that can accompany the whole process and pass away together. because that is the one that is ready. No, so there are many Chakku-pasada. We have seen this a little bit in chapter 6 already. So there are, although there are many, but the one that can become base is the one that is right at that time, that pre-existed and goes together with it. And then in another, if another I consciousness arises after Chakku-viññāna, then it needs to catch another one that already exists. No, although there is a lot existing at the time. No? Okay. Okay, so this is just a little bit more details. And then, so this is the first verse. Chakkayatanam Chakku-viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam cha dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo. Support by existing before as a base. No. Okay, so this Votu Purejāta. So if we understand this, then we can understand all the other ones.
It's the same, exactly.
Yeah, the same.
Now we will just go for all the senses.
Yes, so I will not do detailed explanation. We'll just go through the graphic and the verse, okay? For the other
it is the same functioning.
Other 4 senses. Okay, so let's go.
Sotayatanam Sota-viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam cha dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo. We can hear because there was an ear base before born before.
Sotayatanam Sota-viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam cha dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo.
Yes.
Okay.
Next sense.
Yes, then let's go to another. Okay.
Gana-yatanam Gana-viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam cha dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo.
Sorry, I pressed it one.
Yeah. Yes, here.
Okay. Yes, so this is okay, no? Like Gana-yatanam Gana-viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam cha dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo.
Yes.
No sensitivity supports the nose consciousness and its associated cetasika by way of existing there before as the base. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to another base.
The other ones just go through. Jivayatanam Jiva-viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam cha dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo.
Okay. Then we go same.
Kaya-yatanam Kaya-viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam cha dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo.
Okay, so body, same, not body sensitivity. Okay, now let's go to another one, which now we are changing category. Let's go to Āramana-purejāta. So this also you can imagine already, no? Āramana, the object also need to exist before, because if the object is not there, then there is nothing to see, no, or nothing to smell, nothing to. So in the same way.
Yeah.
So yes, in the same way, the thing that we can see is something that have already arisen some moments before, and it still exists while we are seeing.
While we're seeing it, we cannot see something that hasn't born. We cannot meet somebody who hasn't born yet. So it must be there. Then the eye has contact. Then the eye consciousness arises.
In the same way, it also passes away.
Taking it as an object in this case. The object was born before. That's why we can see this object, because it was present already. Yes.
So in the same way, it passes away. That specific visible quality also passes away, no, because it arises and passes away. Pass away together with the idol mental process, and then we continue seeing it. Another idol. Another Chakku-viññāna take another visibility, rupa, visible rupa that is ready, already exists in the moment, and then it catch it in the same way, no? But this time it's Āramana. Okay, so let's go to the verse.
Rupayatanam Chakku-viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam cha dhammanam Purejāta-paccayo. Here, rupa is meaning the visible form. You remember we use the same word, but it also means the visual form. So that visible object was there before as an object. Then the mind could have contact with it, and eventually Chakku-viññāna, the visual consciousness, arose because of its pre-borning as a condition.
Okay, so this is easy to understand. Although here it does not mention Aramana Purej, Aramana here, but we understand because it is visible object. No? So in this category, teachers, they break down into different categories, so it's easier to understand. The first part, Wotu Purejāta as a base. Now this part, this Purejāta is as object. No? Okay, so let's see another sense, another object in the same way.
Sadayatanam sota viññana dhatuya tam sampayuta kanan chadamanam Purejāta-paccayo.
Same way, no? Okay, let's go ahead.
Sound and ear.
Gandayatanam
Gana viññana dhatuya tam sampayuta kanan chadamanam Purejāta-paccayo. There was a smell to smell, as taken as an object, then smelling consciousness arose. Yes. Rasayatanam jiva viññana dhatuya tam sampayuta kanan chadamanam Purejāta-paccayo. Yes, you can chant if you wish. You already got the flow, and the tone is very simple. It's very nice to chant it.
Okay, let's go to the last sense, the fifth one.
Potava.
Yes, so let's go.
Potavayatanam kaya viññana dhatuya tam sampayuta kanan chadamanam Purejāta-paccayo. Eso, ya se ve. It's good. Easy, no? Very nice, very beautiful.
Yes, okay.
And so deep, amazing how many things is describing from nature.
So now we have seen the 5 pairs, the 5 senses and the 5 objects, no?
Yes.
Now we have let's go to the next verse here. It's still in Aramana Purejāta, but the consciousness will change now. We'll see.
Rupayatanam, Sadayatanam, Gandayatanam, Rasayatanam, Potavayatanam, Manodhatuya, Tam Sampayuta Kanan Chadamanam, Purejāta-paccayo. This one is interesting. Here we go.
Yes, this one we can understand. So here it says Rupayatanam, visible object, Sadayatanam, sound, Gandayatanam, smell, Rasayatanam, taste, Potavayatanam, the touch. So these 5 senses are taken by what now? They pre-exist there as an object for what consciousness to arise. So it says Manodhatu. Manodhatu, as we have already seen previously, it is the 2 types of consciousness that Samvaya Chakviññana, or the Sota Viññana, or the 5 sense Viññana, no? So which is Panchadvara Vajana and 2 Sampatichana, no? So these 3, Sampatichana is 2, yes? So there are 3. These 3 Viññana is called Manodhatu, mind elements. They are quite simple because they do only very simple jobs, not just turn and just receive. So they are a little bit less chetasikas actually that associate with them than all the other ones. They are quite simple. So Manodhatu means Panchadvara Vajana and 2 Sampatichana, no? And so in this case,
yes.
They only arise in the 5 sense door process. Remember, in mind door process, they don't arise, no? So because they don't have to turn to the 5 sense, don't have to receive anything. So these ones, they also take the same object as the Chakku Viññana, or as the Sota Viññana, or as the Ganda Viññana, as the 5 sense consciousness, no? So therefore, here, these 5 sense objects are also objects, also pre-existed as object that supports Manodhatu to arise and is associated to the
So in this moment, the mind starts knowing what is coming through the senses. It's already becoming from a physical vibration, from light and movement, from sound or smell or taste, is starting to become mind object. And now the mind is starting to hold it. Then in the next process, it will be just mental. We will be thinking for what we saw, for what we heard. Even if we don't see it, look at it, we can remember it, and it's happening everything inside the mind. So it is kind of the transition between the world, the physical world, the vibrations and the light, to the mental world when we are thinking about what we are seeing or hearing.
You mean the 5-door process, no? The 5-door process is all the time like that, like in the chapter 4, we have seen first the 5-door process happened, then
the
many mind-door process happened in order to know what it is and what we think about it.
But this is the moment when we got the transition between the matter to starting to be a mental realm, not anymore physical.
Okay, so this is the Aramana Purejāta in this case. Then let's go to another verse here. In the next verse, it goes back to Vatu Purejāta. Let's see. It says
Yam rupam nisaya mano datu cha mano viññāna datu cha vatanti.
So it comes back to Vatu here. Yes.
To base.
Yes. So the arrangement in the Paccājāniddeso, it is like the five. First, it talks about the five senses, the 5 bases, then the 5 objects, then the 5 objects for the Manodhatu. Then it comes back to Vatu Purejāta, the base for the mind, for other kinds of chittas, not the 5 consciousness, other types, no?
Hadaya
so,
Vatu.
Yam Rupam, that Rupa here refers to the Hadaya Vatu, the Hadaya Vatu hat base. Niseya, Yam Rupam Niseya means with the help, with the support, no? Depending on this matter, Manodhatu, cha means end also. Manodhatu cha, mano viññāna dhatu cha vatanti. Manodhatu, yeah, we saw already the 3 types of consciousness. Then mano viññāna dhatu is all kinds of chittas minus dvipancha viññāna, the 10 sense consciousness, and minus the 3 manodhatu. So
because it was spoken already, it was
already talked about, no? So because they also, the 10 dvipancha viññāna does not depend on heart base. They depend on eye base, ear base, nose base, no? Depend on it specific base, no? So here, all other chittas except those dvipancha viññāna depend on heart base for their arising.
Vatanti, for their arising. So there was the heart base or whatever supports the mind should have been born before as a base. Then the consciousness, the chittas and the cetasikas can arise because of its pre-nascence.
Now it's coming to more specific details about this point that Bhante just talked about. Let's see. So it says, Tam rupam manodhatuya tam sampayutakanam chadamanam Purejāta-paccayo. So here, pay attention, no? Tam rupam, this, depending on this Hadaya Vatu, manodhatu. So that means this 3 kinds of consciousness and its associated cetasikas.
Tam sampayuta.
They are Purejāta-paccayo. Yes, so this heart base must be already there for this to arise. Okay, now let's see the next verse and then we will see why it is being separated here. Okay, let's go. So, mano viññāna dhatuya tam sampayutakanam chadamanam kenchi kale Purejāta-paccayo. Kenchi kale na Purejāta-paccayo.
It's negating in the second verse.
Yes, okay. So here, because the 2 verses are together, so the yam rupam, the rupam is not being repeated, but we need to understand it is here, no? Because it comes from the other sentence, no? So depending on this heart base, mano viññāna dhatu. So all kinds of other chittas except dvipancha viññāna and except the manodhatu and its associated cetasikas can tikare sometimes Purejāta-paccayo. Sometimes it is pre-exists there as the base for it to arise when during the lifetime, no? During lifetime, the heart base must already be there ready for other consciousness to arise. And Kenchi Kale sometimes na Purejāta-paccayo. Sometimes it does not pre-exist there. Because why? Because Patisandhi time it is Sahajata, no?
It's burning together.
Patisandhi time it arises together and it's also supported as a base for Patisandhi Chitta to arise, no? In that case, they are not Purejāta, they are Sahajata.
When we born, the body and the mind arise together. It's not that the mind arrived and there was already somebody, there was a body already before. That would be Purejāta. But only in that moment, that's why it says, na Purejāta-paccayo. In that moment, it didn't born before. At that moment, they born together and is referring to the Patisandhi time. Sahajata, born together, different one, which we already saw before.
Okay, so here specifically is separated Mano Dhatu and Mano Vijnana Dhatu, because Mano Dhatu is always in the 5 sense door process. No, it never happened as a Patisandhicitta. Yes, so therefore it is always that Hadaya Watu must always be there already. Yes, but then in the in the Mano Vijnana Dhatu, some Vipāka-citta that serve as Patisandhi, that sometimes they can be Sahajata, sometimes Purejāta. So that's why it is separated here.
Good.
Okay, so
finish
that's all
one.
For Purejāta that exists before. And then now let's go to another one.
One more. Let's go to 11. And this is Pacchājāta-paccayo, which means post-nascent, born after, a condition that born after serves for something. We will see right now how it works.
Yes. So
this is very interesting.
Pacchājāta-condition is the Paccaya supports something that has already been there by arising later. So actually something that, so let's say now if we invert it, it's easier to understand. So something that arises later supports something that is already there. That's very easier to understand, no? Something that arises supports something that is already there. For example, in this graphic, you see, this is a general example. Sometimes we are going to travel and then we are very excited and the whole night we cannot sleep, but we are not traveling yet. But because the traveling, which is not there yet, we are too excited and we cannot sleep.
So that in colloquial terms in Spanish is called chincual, ¿cierto? You want to go, you're so excited, you want to do it, you cannot even sleep. Yeah, that will be the essence of chincual, the microscopic functioning of chincual.
So this is in general terms, like specifically how it works, we will see. But this is the example, sometimes we are too excited for something and we even forget to eat. No? We don't even feel hungry. No, so something like that because of something that is not there yet.
Something that will exist tomorrow is making already a change now. So actually, in this case, the effect is happening before the cause. Effect and cause. We generally say cause and effect, first the cause. In this case only specifically, the effect, the excitement, or the cannot sleep is happening before that thing is even happening. For example, anxiety does the same functioning. We are worrying about something that hasn't yet arrived and maybe will never arise. And that night we couldn't sleep already.
Yes, so let's see the examples given by teachers. So here in the Pacchājāta-paccayo, something that arises later supports something that has already been there. The example being given by teachers, they said that there is some kind of vouchers, you know, those vouchers, vouchers, that when they have babies, it is said that in the commentaries, it says that there are some kind of vouchers that the mother, after they have the babies and then they fly away and they never come back. They never come back. But those vulture babies, they are expecting their mother to come bring them food. So those babies, they don't have food, but they don't die because with that expectation, they are waiting for their mother. They are waiting and waiting. So that expectation keep them alive until they can fly. Then they go and then they go to find food
by themselves.
Yeah. So in the animal world, I'm not very sure which kind or what species it is. But in the commentaries, it says that there are some kind of this vulture that does this. The young birds, they because of the expectation of the parents who bring them food, they survive. They survived with this expectation, then the support, this volition that make them the longing, make them survive that time. And
yeah, well, it's kind of a hope, or we have seen in people in very difficult situations when they get trapped into a cave or in the Holocaust, the people, that hope of being free one day allowed them and gave them the energy. Something that hasn't happened yet was giving them already an effect. So we can understand that.
Yes. So
wishful looking forward.
Yeah. So in this way, the teachers explains that these young birds, they are not sustained by food. Actually, they are sustained by the longing for food. No. So this longing appeared later because their body, which are being sustained by this longing, is already there.
Chitta-ja-rupa.
Yes. No, not Chitta-ja-rupa, Kamma-ja-rupa. Those.
No, but that kind of thinking is allowing them to continue also to get alive. Yeah.
Okay. So in this Paccaya, the longing that appears later sustain the Kamma-ja-rupa that already exists. They are already born, no? The rupa that is already there. Okay, so let's see the the Paccayanideso. Let's see the verse here. It says, Pacchājāta-citta-cittasika Dhamma Purejāta-sa imasakayasa Pacchājāta-paccayena-paccayo. So what does it mean here? Pacchājāta-citta-cittasika Dhamma. So that means that those chitta and cittasika that arise later, Pacchājāta, Purejāta-sa imasakayasa. Imasakayasa means this existing body that arised before. Yes, this existing body that arised before these chitta and cittasikas are supported by these chitta and cittasika in by way of arising later. Okay, so those longings and those chittas that arises supports the body that is already there. Okay, so here in this case, those matter or body, the kaya that has already existed are the rupas that are born previously by karma, by chitta, udu, or ahara. It can be anything, no? So already this body that already exists. So those just like when we are excited, then we want to go somewhere and we forget to eat, but we don't die, that day. So we are those chitta supports this body that is already existed in that moment. No? Okay.
Good. Finish one more, my dear.
So let's go
Finish
to
one more.
Number 12.
Yes.
Āsevana.
Ping. Āsevana-paccayo. Repetition-condition.
So in this one, the paccaya causes the recurrence of the paccaya-upana. It makes it arise again and again. So Āsevana means repetition, doing something again and again. No? So there are two examples given by the teachers. It is like when we study, when we learn something, what we learned before supports what we are going to learn later on. No? Now, for example,
it builds up.
No? For example, for children, as children, we first learn ABC. We learn the alphabets. So by learning these alphabets, this learning supports the later learning of some words. Now, because we know the ABC, now we can read the whole word. No? We can read the word. We can read the sentence. Then this second learning of learning the words supports later on the children to write something. The full sentence, or even can write. So the first learning supports the second learning supports the third learning. It get reinforced now. So
because of repetition.
Yes, because of repetition and because of accumulating. When you do it once, then there is a force that although at this moment when we are reading something, we are not reading the ABCs anymore. No? When we read something, we don't have to say A, B, C, and we don't have to read the ABCs anymore. But without knowing the ABC, we cannot read the words. And so the first learning supports the second learning supports the third learning, like this. In this way, repetition
reinforces and accumulates. And we as humanity know it very well. Actually, for anything that we need to learn, if we were reading, writing, playing music, repetition is key. Constant repetition. So it starts getting into the mind. At the beginning was not very clear, then clearer. It is because of this kind of functioning in nature.
Yes. So there is another example being given by the teachers. It is compared to the using of perfume or tanaka again and again.
You remember the tanaka?
Now I will will explain about this. So suppose there is the Tanaka plate, and then you make Tanaka on it all the time. First, I have to explain what is this first. So if you see this ancient picture, you see this is a plate here, and then this is some kind of branch, like wood here.
That plate is made out of very fine stone, very, very smooth stone.
Yes. So in Myanmar, the ladies, they used one like a ceramic or stone, stone plate, and then this is a natural piece of wood called Tanaka, and then so they put a little bit of water, and then they grind. They
make like a milk out of this wood.
Yes, well, from the bark, then there is then they make this little paste, and this paste is said that it is very good for the skin, and it serves also as sunblock
protection.
Also. So the children, they also put, and adults also.
Children and adults, male and female, female mostly, but also you can see some males and children, boys, with all full of Tanaka.
So, and it smells very good. So it is some protection. So this is only for us to understand this picture.
Burmese use it a lot. It's very traditional.
Yeah. So you see the plate is here, and then so the example being given is like the perfume or the Tanaka being used. Many times when you keep every day, then you put make Tanaka in that plate, then the plate become very good smell, no? Like smelling better and better. No?
Even if it has no Tanaka, the plate itself, even after wash, starts smelling very good.
So in this way, this repetition make the thing strong. So in this way, it is also in this comparison.
This very local example.
Yes. Okay, so let's see. This Āsevana condition, actually, strictly speaking, it only applies to jhavanas, because it's only jhavanas that repeat one after the other, no? So the seven jhavanas are in this condition.
Technically, in the mind is the only place that something is repeated in a mental inside the mental process.
Yes, in this case, like let's say we will say, oh, then bhavanga also repeats, no, but that does not accumulate anything. Okay, only jhavana, because they are strong. They must be strong, no, to support the other one to make stronger. So that's Āsevana. Bhavanga does not do that. Okay, so here let's see the first verse.
Purima kusala dhamma pachimanam kusalanam dhammanam Āsevana-paccayo.
So in the jhavanas, no, so we only have to see here now. Purima kusala dhamma. If this jhavana is kusala,
previous kusala dhamma.
Pachimanam kusalanam dhammanam Āsevana-paccayo. In the same way, the first jhavana to the second to the third to the fourth to the fifth to the sixth to the seventh. No, so in this way it gets repeated, and it becomes stronger.
Previous kusala is reinforcing to further kusala by repetition condition. Because of its repetition, it gets strengthened.
So the teacher says that this jhavana, it arises and then it disappears. But when it disappears, it allows the next jhavana to arise. At the same time, it imparts some kind of force and power, potential to the next one. So it becomes stronger in the next one. So that is called Āsevana-paccayo. Now here, we have to see in the Paccaya side, the conditioning states, we have to take only the first to the sixth jhavana. Okay, because the first one condition the second one condition third condition fourth condition fifth condition sixth condition seven, but seven does not condition anything anymore because it's not repetition here anymore. No, so we have to exclude the number 7 here in the conditioning states. Okay. Yes, then in the conditioned states, we have to only take the 2nd to the 7th jhavana, because the first one is not being conditioned by this previous one, no? No Āsevana here. So we have to exclude the first one. Is that clear? Yes, okay.
And it's conditioning the next one.
Conditioning
and the next one. The other 6 are the ones that are being conditioned.
Yes, so the conditioning state 1st to the 6th, being conditioned 6th to the 2nd to the 7th. Okay, so in the same way, the verse repeats. with a different kind of
Javana.
Purima,
Purima, Akusala, Dhammam, Pachimanam, Pachimanam, Akusalanam, Dhammanam, Āsevana-paccayo.
Okay, so this
the
is
same function.
way.
Now on Akusala. Akusala is being repeated by Āsevana-paccayo, repetition condition.
Okay, let's go to the next verse.
Yes. Purima, Purima, Kiriya, Vyagata, Dhammam, Pachimanam, Pachimanam, Kiriya, Vyagatanam, Dhammanam, Āsevana-paccayo.
So now here, this word is a little bit different than the usual word that we see. Usually we see kusala, akusala, and abhyagata only, no? But now here we see kriya abhyagata. So it wants to make sure that this abhyagata, this indeterminate, is only kriya. That means it is not vipaka, because vipaka is also abhyagata, no? Resultant is also indeterminate, no? So here is specified kriya abhyagata, so only kriya, because only kriya repeats 7 times here, no? Repeats over here. Okay, so that with this we finish the Āsevana condition.
Kamma-paccayo. This is a very, very famous one.
Yes, all the time we said that since chapter 1, chapter 2,
Kamma
very previously we always say kamma, 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 kamma. Then we always say no, kamma is not the only condition. There are 24. Now finally we come to this kamma condition.
Kamma is only one of the 24. There are all the ones that support, the ones that commonly support each other, arise together, born before, the one that repeats, and kamma is only one. So that's why, yes, in the Buddha's teaching, kamma is mentioned a lot because of its importance. It's very important, but it is only one. Now we arrive after months and years of saying that. Okay. Congratulations, everybody. We are arrived already. Yeah.
Okay, now let's see. Kamma condition. So kamma condition, the Buddha, in different suttas, he has mentioned cetana ham bhikkhave kammam vadami, because cetana is what I call kamma. Yes, so cetana is important. Cetana. In this, since we are taking out some of the ultimate realities of this paccaya, we have to understand what means by kamma here is actually cetana. Cetana, cetasika. Now, cetana cetasika, previously we have already learned about this in chapter 2, cetasikas. Cetana is compared to like a chief secretary, no? While she does her own job, she encourages everybody to do their job as well.
She sends the other ones, you bring this package here, you do this, you do that, and she's also doing her
own job. Yes. Okay, so in this case, also you remember that cetana is a universal cetasika. So that means that it arises in all kinds of chittas.
Even in bhavanga.
Even in vipaka chitta also. Even in chaku viññāna also, cetana is always there.
For worldly beings and ariya being noble beings is the same. That one will continue arising.
Yes. So here in this case, that cetana, obviously, if it is a vipaka chitta, it is not planting seeds. Yes, because it is the result itself. So it is not doing something. Not only kusala and akusala plant seeds, no. So in that case, in the vipaka chitta, for example, chaku viññāna, that cetana, what does it do? It only encourage phasa, for example, contact, to do contact's job. It encourages manasikara, attention to do a manasikara's job. It encourages everybody to do their own job. So cetana does that in those kind of chitta. It does not plant seeds. Okay, in those cases, and these ones are called sahajata kamma because they arise together. No, arise together in that chitta. They arise together with other cetasikas, and this cetana encourage the other cetasikas that bond together to do their own job. But since cetana is called kamma, so here this one is called sahajata kamma. Okay, now when we see the other one, then you will understand the difference. Yeah, so because there are 2 kinds of kamma here. Now, the one that we usually know, that we usually understand as kamma, is the one that is being compared by planting the seeds, and then later the plant comes out.
Fruit.
Yes, the plant comes. So when we plant the seeds, the result doesn't come immediately. It comes in a different time. in another moment. Even the closest, the fastest Magga-phala is in another moment. No, it does not arise in the same chitta, cause and effect. No, so cause and effect, even the closest Magga-phala is a different moment.
Akaliko immediately.
A different moment. Yes. So in this kind of chitta, that means kusala or akusala, when we plant seeds, the result happens in a different time, later. It happens later. So this one is called Nana Kanika Kamma. Nana means different. Kana means time. So Nana Kanika Kamma, a different time karma. This is the one that we usually understand as karma, no? The ones that give result later on as patisandhi or as a result during lifetime also. No? Okay. Yes, so two kinds of karma we have to understand in this condition. No? Okay, let's go to Nanakanika Kamma first. This is most common. In Nanakanika Kamma, what we know is that the Paccaya plant seeds and it produces the result at another time. So that means Paṭicca-samuppada and the Paccaya arise in different time. No? Not in the same moment. Time, not in the same moment.
Nana Kanika.
Okay, now let's see the first verse in the Paccayanideso. Kusala kammam vipākanam kandanam katata-ca-rupanam Kamma-paccayena-paccayo. Okay, so here kusala kamma. Here actually it's kusala and akusala kamma.
Kusala and akusala, but because the word is together, it sounds like kusala, right? But the A is long. That means there are two A's together. So kusala and akusala kamma.
Yes, so
actions, wholesome and unwholesome actions.
So kusala, akusala, kamma. Here, kamma, we have to understand it means that the kusala and akusala volition, no? Cetana. Kusala, cetana, akusala, cetana. So what does it condition?
Vipākanam kandanam.
This kanda means a group, no? Aggregate, a group.
The group of fruit
Vipāka,
resultant.
Kandam. Vipāka-kandam means Vipāka only means Vipāka-chitta. Vipāka-kandam, the group, what groups? Vipāka-chitta and chittasikas. That means Vipāka.
Kanda.
Vipākanam kandanam. This is not 5 aggregates. No, don't mix with that kanda. Nothing to do.
Just using the word kanda as a group.
Kanda in general in Pali means group. No? So this Vipāka group means Vipāka-chitta and chittasikas that associate with the Vipāka-chitta. No? Okay, so Vipākanam kandanam. Katata-ca-rupanam. Katata-ca-rupanam means the Kamma-ca-rupa. Those Kamma-ca-rupa.
Everything start coming together now. Yeah.
Okay, so this Kamma-ca-rupa, let me see some details here. Okay, yes. Okay, yes, let me see if I prepared. Let's see. So just very briefly, I will just mention. So these Kamma-ca-rupa are those that remember the matters that associate with Jivita-rupa, no? Yes, because only Kamma-ca-rupa has Jivita, no? So those the five sense organs, Chakku-pasada, Sota-pasada, and this one, heart-based, the Bhava-rupas, the sex rupa, male rupa, and or femininity or masculinity, rupa. And Jivitindriya. Only these ones are Kamma-ca-rupa, no? Okay, so the main point here is the kusala and akusala chitana gives result to Vipāka-chitta and Kamma-ca-rupa in a different time. Okay? So it could be in Patisandhi, in next life, or it could be some Chakku Vijnana or something in this life also possible sometimes.
But later.
Yeah, but not in the same moment, no? Not in the same moment, okay? Yes. Now, until here, it's okay?
Everybody okay? Nana,
yes,
Kanika. Kanika is moment, Nana is negation, double negation.
Yes, so this is actually
not same moment.
Easy to understand the karma that we usually
This is the one, we think about.
Plant seeds and the seeds comes later.
You do, then you get.
Vipāka-chitta will arise and Kamma-ca-rupa will arise because of the karma. that is being done. Okay, let's go to Sahajata Kamma. This is also easy to understand.
Kamma that bonds together.
Okay, so Cetana Sampayutakanam
Dhammanam tam sampayutakanam cha rupanam Kamma-paccayo. But this Sahajata Kamma, different.
Yes,
supports Paṭicca-samuppada at the same time.
This Paccaya supports the Paṭicca-samuppada at the same time. No, they are at the same time. So here Cetana Cetasika, conditioned, those all kinds of citta, because all kinds of cittas include Cetana, no? Yes, so all of supports all kind of citta, and the Cetasika accept itself, except Cetana, and those citta-ja-rupa.
Together.
Those that have citta-ja-rupa, no? Some citta does not have citta-ja-rupa. So sometimes also citta-ja-rupa being supported by this Cetana at the same time.
At the same time.
So this calls Sahajata Kamma. So here in the Kamma condition is actually easy to understand. Two types of Kamma, Nanakanika Kamma, Sahajata Kamma.
Not same moment Kamma, and the one that happens or is supported at the same time.
Yes.
Born together.
Yes. Nanakanika Kamma is the one that is only Akusala and Kusala Kamma that gives result later on. The seeds that the plant seeds planted that give result. Sahajata Kamma associated with all kinds of cittas, even is Vipāka, even is Kriya, doesn't matter. No need to be Kusala and Akusala only, no? Okay.
Good, okay, my dear family. So let's
finish the next one first also. No, next one because it's related.
Okay.
No?
Vipāka. So now we saw Kamma, and then we have Vipāka, the fruit.
Vipāka-paccayo. So resultant condition. So here, since we are talking about resultant condition, we only take Vipāka citta here. Let's see the comparison here.
The example.
The example like given by teachers. So it is compared to like relaxing in the breeze. So very relaxing. That means good. That but this relaxing means there is no activities at all. Because Vipāka cittas, they are very calm. No, Vipāka cittas, since they are result produced by cause, produced by Cetana, as we've seen in the Kamma-paccayo, they are said to be inactive. No, they are not doing anything so actively. So they are. So the example, relaxing in the breeze means only relaxing. There is no activities. But it does not mean that it is enjoying the coolness or not enjoying, just that it is being relaxed. Yeah.
Peaceful or just
doing nothing.
Flowing.
Yes, just non-active. So non-active nature is the nature of Vipāka. For example, the ones that is more obvious that we can understand better is like when we are sleeping in deep sleep, only Bhavanga is happening. No, Bhavanga citta is Vipāka citta, no? At that time. So at that time, we're not doing anything, but Bhavanga citta only arising. So calm and not active.
So cute.
So this is Bhavanga, like the Vipāka are like that with those nature. So calm and relaxed. Okay, so let's go to the verse.
Vipāka Chataro Kanda Arupino Anyamanya Vipāka-paccayo.
So here, since we are talking about Vipāka, which is the result of Kamma, we only take Vipāka citta here in the both Paccayo and Paṭicca-samuppada.
Because it's only that resultant that will
that is in this condition.
Something.
Condition, no? So Vipāka citta, Vipāka Chataro Kanda. So that means
four aggregates
of the Vipāka citta, Anyamanya, mutually support each other by way of resultant condition. No, so for example, here Vipāka citta, if we take it to be the Paccayo, then the Vedana, Sanya, and Sankhara, or the other Chittasikas are Paṭicca-samuppada in this case.
Conditioned.
No? So if we take Vedana as conditioned, then Vipāka citta and other Chittasikas and Sanya will be Paṭicca-samuppada, no? Because they anyamanya, no? Anyamanya.
And the same if we take Sanya, it's just interchangeable. One will be leading, and the other one will be supporting.
Being the condition,
and the other ones will be the conditioned.
Yes, but at the same time, also, I mean, in the later slides I have prepared here, I forgot to put it. Then sometimes two also possible. If you take Vedana and Sanya to be conditioning states, then the other two is
Chitta and Sankhara.
So 1, 2, 3, or 2 to 2, or 3 to 1, also possible. Yes, understand? Like, okay,
Yes.
this is Paccaya, this is Paccājāta-paccayo.
Yeah.
There are 4 aggregates, no? 4 arupino aggregates, 4 mind aggregates.
Four non-rupa aggregates, yes.
So 1,
Meaning
if we
mind.
take 1, then here 3. If we take 2 here, then here 2. If we take 3 here, then here 1. Okay, possible also.
Yeah.
No? So not only like the Indriya, only 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. No? Yes. Okay.
Yes. Okay, my dear family, we finish another one.
Yes.
Let's take a break and thank you very much for your effort, our patience, collective effort, collective patience. Yes, we know we need to go through, and later on we will use all this. So I think it is flowing well. And also appreciate very much that for you, we are starting the day, so we are quite fresh. But for you, if you have a long day, we appreciate very much your whole week. Yes. Thank you for your efforts. We continue and see you in 5 minutes. Today we will have 5 minutes. 1 more minute of rest. Descanso. So see you very soon.
Okay,
we love you. We continue.
Minutes.
Best wishes. We hope everything is going well.
Ready?
Good, my dear.
So let's go to the next Paccaya, number 15. Āhāra-paccayo, nutriment conditions. Nutriment, yes. We have already seen that there are different kinds of Āhāra. So we'll do a quick revision so that we can understand this Paccaya easily. The first one that we have seen is Kabarikara-āhāra. Kabarikara-āhāra, a nutriment that is in the food that we eat, no? Those kind of nutrients.
What we consume.
Yes. So with this nutriment, that this Āhāra kalapa, this Āhāra kalapa, I mean, from those nutrients that is inside the food, then it helps us and it produce this Āhāra kalapa inside us, no, with the nutrients. That is in the food outside, that it produces the nutrients that is inside us. So
keeps
that
us
is
alive.
Keep us alive. That's why it is called nutriment, because it keeps us alive. No, the food keeps us alive. So this is the first Āhāra, first nutriment, and the second nutriment is
mental. Mental nutriment. What the mind eats, the nutriment for the mind, and one of them is phasa, to be able to have contact with different objects. What we see, what we smell, what we taste, what we feel.
Yeah. So in the Paṭicca-samuppada, phasa-paccayo, what? Phasa-paccayo Vedana, no? So actually, so that's why phasa is also called Āhāra, because it caused Vedana to arise, no? Yes, so it supports Vedana to arise. So phasa is also called Āhāra here. Then the next one is, the third one is Manosa Cetana. Manosa Cetana means mental volition. That is Cetana, the ones that we saw already. Kusala and Akusala Kamma. No? Kusala and Akusala Cetana. So why is it called Āhāra? Because this Kusala and Akusala Cetana, it gives rise to what? It gives rise to Patisandhicitta, no? It gives rise to resultant consciousness.
That cetana is the food, so to speak, to nutriment for patisandhi to arise. That potentiality is the food for the rebirth consciousness.
So that's why cetana is also called Āhāra. Now the last one, vijnana, consciousness. Chitta itself is also called Āhāra, because it gives rise to what? Vijnana, Paccaya, Nama, and Rupa. No? So Vijnana, it brings forth Cetasika and Kamaja Rupa. So Vijnana itself is also an Āhāra, because it is nutriment for Nama and Rupa to arise. So we're not going into details again here. If you wish to do a revision, you can go back to the video in chapter 7 of when we explained about Āhāra, then it will be more clear. So here we just make a summary to remember what was the different kinds of Āhāra. First one, Kabarikara-āhāra, food. It's called nutriment because it's supports the body, no? Supports Āhāra Rupa, no? Then phasa is also called Āhāra because it is conditioned for Vedana to arise. Then Cetana, volition, kusala and akusala volition is called Āhāra because it gives a condition for Patisandhicitta to arise. Then Vijnana in general is also called Āhāra because it supports Cetasika and Rupa to arise. No? Okay, so these are the 4 kinds of Āhāra here that we have to take them into this condition, no? Into this Āhāra-paccayo.
One physical food and the other one mental food. Mental nutriment.
Yes. Okay, so the example given by teachers, Āhāra is compared to supporting pole here. You see, in this house, that there are some supporting pole, no? So in Seattle Silananda's book, he mentioned that maybe in the Western countries or in the more developed countries, you might not see this all the time. But if you go to countryside or if you go to Burma or Asia, many bamboo house or wooden house, then you see that they might not be very firm, not very stable. So they have to put some pole here. To support the house, no? So this kind of support is compared to Āhāra. So in this way, it supports what is there and it makes it strong, no? Like supporting pole. Okay, so let's see in a little bit more details. This Āhāra supports by nutriment. Let's go to the Paccayaniddeso. Bante, ready?
Kabalikaro aharo imasa kayasa Āhāra-paccayo.
So kabalikaro aharo, the external oja, the external
food, nutriment
supports this physical body.
Imasa kayasa, the kaya,
this body by way of nutriment.
Āhāra-paccayo.
So previously in the Rupa chapter, we have seen that by means of external nutriment and the support of, so we eat it, no? We eat the food, which is only the 8 avini-bhoga, no? The 8 inseparables. No? Outside food is don't have other ingredients, only the 8 inseparables. So, but it contains nutriment, no? So when we eat it, then it gets in contact and being supported by the internal oja, internal nutriment, because inside our body, there are also kalapas that also includes nutriment, no? Actually, all of them, because they're one of the inseparable. So when they get in touch, they're supported by it, the new Āhāra Rupa is being produced. So these are called the Āhāra nutriment bond meta. So in this case, in this Paccaya, sometimes we take external nutriment supports internal nutriment bond Rupa, Āhāra Rupa. Yes, in this way. But sometimes also some teachers take not only those Āhāra Rupa, but all Rupas, Imasa Kayasa, this body, we take also not only the nutriment bond, but also Kamma bond, also Chitta bond, also temperature bond, also also all the 4 causes are also taken. In general, no? Because when we eat the food, it does not support only those Āhāra bond Rupa. It also supports the Kamma Rupa. It also supports the Uddhāja Rupa and the Chitta Rupa also, no? In general as a whole. So sometimes we take the whole here.
Yes.
So that is the one that is external food, Rupa. Now we go to the Arupino, the one that are mental.
So, really? Arupino Āhāra Sampayutakanam Dhammanam Tam Samutananam Tam Samutananam Charupanam Āhāra-paccayo.
Okay, again now.
Arupino Āhāra,
meaning Phasa, Cetana, and Vijnana, no? The three.
Arupino, the three mental nutrients.
No? Sampayutakanam Dhammanam. So those chittas, those Dhamma, Chitta and Chittasika
are associated
with either Phasa or with Cetana or with Vijnana, and Tam Samutananam Charupanam, those Chitta Rupa, those Rupa that is related, they are Āhāra-paccayo, supported by nutriment conditions. Okay?
Everybody okay? Looking good.
Also Sahajata, no, here, because they arise together, no?
Good.
Okay.
We finished one more, ladies and gentlemen. Very good. We are moving on. Yes. And we go to number 16. If you have any question or comment, please write it, and at the end we can take a look together. So the next Paccayo is called Indriya, which is faculty condition. And we know already there are some faculties we have explored, the physical faculties, and there are some spiritual faculties. We will see now which one it is referred in this case.
Yeah, so in chapter 7, we have seen all these things actually. So it is important
chapter 7,
to
very
remember
nice.
What we have seen in chapter 7 in order to understand this. But we will also do repetition here. So don't worry if you
Āsevana. You remember, we will do Āsevana in this case.
Okay, so Paccaya here in this Indriya condition, faculty condition, Indriya is the controlling factor of the Paccājāta-paccayo. So the conditioning states affect
it's controlling
the conditioned states, the Paccājāta-paccayo. So
the boss.
The examples being given by teachers is Indriya is like the regional chief, or the minister. Yes, but in this case, it is not the universal king, or I mean, it is not the king or the prime minister or the president. It is
regional.
So it is like they only take care of their own department.
El presidente municipal.
They only take care of the department. So ministers, they have authority over their respective area, but not over everything. Yes, Adipati is over everything. No, remember, Adipati is like the king. So the king is over all ministers. So there can be only one king at a time, only one Adipati at a time. But Indriyas, there can be many Indriyas in different times because they take care of different areas, different departments.
Like in a company, different.
Okay.
How you call that one? Those executives or something?
Managers,
different managers, yeah.
Okay, so the first one, just as the eye faculty, Chakku-indriya, so the eye, Paṭicca-samuppada takes care of the visual, of the eye, the domain of seeing. Eye faculties is important for the domain.
The eye faculty is the chief of the domain of seeing.
Yes, but not but it is not the chief of listening, no. Yes, so listening is the sota pasada, no? So it's the Chakku-indriya, eye faculty only is important in the domain of seeing. It is controlling over there. Okay, so let's go to the first verse in the
Paccājāniddeso. About the faculties. Yes.
So
Chakku-indriyam, Chakku-viññānādhatuya, tam samviyuttakanam chadamanam, Indriya-paccayena-paccayo.
Okay. So here also we don't have to explain too much because it is basically similar. Eye faculty as a controlling factor. It supports or it conditions the Chakku-viññāna and its associated cetasikas. And here in this category, we see that it is called Purejāta-indriya.
As we saw before, you remember the only difference was that before we call it base, eye base, and now is the faculty, the eye faculty that also born together. It was there.
Born before.
Born before, yeah, Purejāta born before, so it could support the eye consciousness to arise with its associated cetasikas.
So now you see that in one thing like Chakku-pasada and Chakku-viññāna, there are many conditions between them. Not only one thing. For example, they are Purejāta as well, they are Indriya as well, they are Votu as well. Votu Purejāta, Purejāta-indriya, and also Niseya. So there are many different
forces,
conditions that work
together. Working together for something to happen. And later on, my dear family, we can see patterns. There are some conditions that are always together because they are kind of helping one another. There are some groupings of the different Paccayas. We are seeing now the 24 Paccayas, one by one, what it does. Later on, we can see which ones are cousins, which ones come together, which ones are friends. We can start later on. And some teachers also explain in that way. By groupings of the Paccayas, we start getting not just a microscopic understanding of the functioning, but a little bit more general, how the groups come and interact with the reality we are.
Yes, groups. Like Sahajata group, it has its friends, and then we have different groups of different. That they always associate.
And there are some Paccayas that cannot go together. For example, if the function of burning and of extinguishing fire cannot be together, so definitely they exclude. They can never be on the same group.
Yeah, it's just like Ati and Nati.
Yeah, the same happens.
Existence and non-existence.
They cannot be together. Either it exists or either it doesn't exist. So they separate into groups because of their qualities.
Okay, so that's then the later ones are similar, so we can understand. So we're going to Purejāta-indriya. Yeah, so
let's enjoy the chanting, but thinking about what it is. Look at the images. We know already what it is. So Sotindriyam Sota Viññāna Dhatuya Tam Sampayutta-kanam Chadamanam Indriya-paccayo. Next. Gana Indriyam Gana Viññāna Dhatuya Tam Sampayutta-kanam Chadamanam Indriya-paccayo. Now the tongue. Jiva Indriyam Jiva Viññāna Dhatuya Tam Sampayutta-kanam Chadamanam Indriya-paccayo. Because we have the faculty of tasting, that's why taste consciousness arises. Kaya Indriyam Kaya Viññāna Dhatuya Tam Sampayutta-kanam Chadamanam Indriya-paccayo.
Okay, so until here, we finished Purejāta-indriya. Now we go to another category of indriya. Okay, so the next one is called Rupa Jivitindriya. Remember, Rupa Jivitindriya. So this one is the Paccaya is the Rupa Jivitindriya, and it's being a control faculty, but because it is it controls by being the life faculty. Okay, so let's read this one first. Rupa Jivitindriyam Katata Rupanam Indriya-paccayo. So this Jivita Rupa supports the body. This Katata Rupa, no? This Kamaja Rupa. Kamaja Rupa. Jivitindriya supports Kamaja Rupa by being life faculty. Without it, it is not alive. No, without it is not alive. Yes. Okay. So this Paccayupana, this Katata Rupa here means Kamaja Kalapa. Let me go. I think in another slide it is coming. Rupa Jivitindriya. So yes. So Kamaja Rupa is here. Kamaja Kalapa. So now what is the Kamaja Kalapa? Which ones are there? How many are there? So just as a reminder, here I bring back the slide from chapter 6. The Kamaja Rupa is what? Is the 8 inseparables, plus there are different ones, plus only Jivitindriya is 1, no? Then 8 inseparable plus Jivitindriya and Chakku-viññāna. Chakku-pasada is 1, no? So
sensitive eye,
with the sensitive ear, sensitive nose, sensitive tongue, sensitive body, the 2 gender and Hadayawa too. So all these are called Kamaja Rupa, no? So not all rupas are Kamaja Rupa. And Kamaja Rupa always have to be with Jivitindriya, otherwise it will not be alive. Now, what kind of rupa are not there? For example, like sound or the intimation. So all these, they are not Kamaja, no? They are like more Chittaja or other causes.
No? We make sound because we are thinking of making sound or call somebody because we want to. The mind wants to do.
So here it is just a reminder of what is Kamaja Rupa. No? So now here, since we are taking Kamaja Rupa as the Paccayupana condition stays now, and the Jivitindriya here, Rupa Jivitindriya itself is the Paccaya. So we have to take it out from the Paccaya. So the Paccayupana, the condition stays that we are taking is only this one plus these ones. Okay? Yes? Let's go back here. Jivitindriya itself is the supporting condition. So those other Kamaja Rupa except Jivitindriya itself are being supported by Jivitindriya in this case. By what? By the condition of being
Rupa
a life
Jivitindriya.
faculty. No?
Uh-huh.
The Jivitindriya is a life faculty
Who
that supports the other kind of Kammaja-rupa, which we have seen already, which is the 8 aviniboga, 8 inseparable, plus or maybe Chakku-pasada or Sota-pasada, eye sensitivity, ear sensitivity, the 5 senses, and then the Hadaya-watu and the Bhava-rupa. No? Yeah, don't worry, it will come more indriyas later, and it will become more clear and clear again. So here we just have to know that Jivitindriya supports Kammaja-rupa in the way of being control faculty.
That was the best one. Jivitindriya supports Kammaja-rupa, period.
By way of what? By way
Rupa
of
Jivitindriya.
By way of being a life faculty. No?
Paccayaniddeso.
Being a life faculty. Okay,
good.
Controlling factor. Okay, so this is the second category, Rupa Jivitindriya.
Good.
Okay, so let's go to Sahajata Indriya. Okay, so Arupino.
Arupino Indriya, Indriya Sampayutakanam Damanam, Tam Samutananam Charupanam, Indriya-paccayo.
Okay, now here we have to load our memory disk. So Arupino Indriya. So those faculties that are not matter. Yes, the ones that we have just seen, the eye faculty, ear faculty, nose faculty, tongue faculty, and body faculty, and as well as the Rupa Jivitindriya metta, life faculty, they are Rupa, no, they are all Rupa. So there are other Indriyas that are not Rupa. So now to remind ourselves, we go to another chart from chapter 7. There are 22 Indriyas now we have seen. So what we saw already, the 5 senses, then we have 2 bhava, the gender, and then Jivitindriya divided into nama and rupa, no? Here, yes.
Life support of
life faculty,
the mind,
life faculty, or matter life faculty, no? Okay, so here all this part is rupa. So what we want to know here is which ones are the arupa, no? Arupino, the non-rupa,
non-physical one.
Yeah, mind faculties, no? So here we have nama Jivitindriya. Yes, then we have manindriya, which is vijnana itself, manindriya. Then sukha, dukkha, somanasa, domanasa, upeka. Actually,
the five vedanas.
No? Vedana. Also, it's an indriya. Then here we have the 5 spiritual faculties:
Sada,
viriya,
faith, effort,
sati,
mindfulness,
samadhi,
and concentration
and
as the spiritual faculties and wisdom faculty.
Yes, so panindriya here is also further divided into 3 ones. If you want to do revision, you can go back to the video, but in short, it is the different kind of wisdom of the Sotapanna, of the Sotapanna until the Arahata Maga, and then Arahata Phala, no? So different kinds of wisdom, but anyway, we just group them into one Indriya as Panya, no? Here, yes? So all these are mind.
The mind, okay? the mental faculties.
Yes, so here we have Nama 1, Manindriya 2, Vedana 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 8 Arupino Indriya here. All other ones are physical. And these faculties, controlling faculties, are mind. Okay, so now we go back to the slide here.
Arupino Indriyas.
So here, Arupino Indriya is the Paccaya. What is it? Jivitindriya here in the sense of mind, no? Mind, Nama, Jivitindriya. Then we have Manindriya, Chitta itself, Vedana. So 1, 2, 3, and the 5 faculties, 8 of them. Okay, 5 spiritual faculties. Sati,
Viriya, Samadhi, and Sati. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So faith, wisdom, effort, concentration, and mindfulness.
Okay. Yes, the 5
in English.
Spiritual
that's
faculties.
better, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So Arupino Indriya Sampayutakanam Dhammanam.
Accompanied by some dhammas, some phenomena.
Not accompanied by some dhammas. Must be those chittas that are accompanied by these ones. Reverse, no? being conditioned, no? Are the conditioned states, no? And also tam samutanam ja rupanam, the chitta ja rupa that arise together. So here we are talking about control faculties, no? So the control faculties is the paccaya here, the conditioning states, the ones that control the other, no? It has control over what? Over the chittas that are associated with them. Yes. Also control what? Control those chitta ja rupa that arise together with these chittas. Okay. And here chitta ja rupa in the time of bhavati time, no, during lifetime, and also kamma ja rupa during patisandhi time, because sometimes the vipaka chitta, the patisandhi chitta, also can associate with panya, can also associate with sati, no, if it is a kusala vipaka, and also vedana also there. Jivitindriya also there, no? All these also there during patisandhi time. So in that case, kamma ja rupa also during patisandhi time. And bhavati time, lifetime, only chitta ja rupa and is associated chittasika, no? So in different moments, chitta ja rupa or kamma ja rupa. Is that clear? Okay. Okay. So arupino indriyam sampayutakanam dhammanam tam samutanam ja rupanam Indriya-paccayo. So this one is called sahajata indriya because they are always bound together. No, this being a control faculty by being bound together. They are sahajata, being bound together. The other ones that we see in the Purejāta indriya, like the eye sensitivity, as a control faculty for eye consciousness, is born before, no? They must be there already.
We must have an eye in order to see.
Yes, so that is Purejāta indriya, no? So being control faculty born previously.
And this one is born together.
Sahajata indriya. No? Okay. So sahajata indriya. Now here, just one detail. Let's go back to this graphic. Now we have seen that all these are the mind ones, no problem here, and the physical one also all covered except these two.
The gender.
Itindriya and Purisindriya. No, these two we have not mentioned. No. So here actually in this paccaya, in this Indriya-paccayo, these two are not included. In chapter 7, we have seen that there are 22 Indriyas, but here in the paccaya, these two are not included because in order to become an Indriya condition, it must exist together with the paccaya, and Paccaya-upanna must exist together. In that, I mean, exist together does not mean bond together, no? The Purejāta also bond, and then it exists together as the eye arises first, then Chakku Vijnana arise, but they exist together for some time, no? Yes, as we said. Now, the other one, Sahajata, surely they bond together and exist together, no? And then they pass away together also, no? Sometime. Now here, it must exist together, and also it must be strong enough. Now, although these two bhava rupa, this masculinity or femininity, it already exists in the time of Patisandhi. In the time of Patisandhi, 3 groups of rupa arise. Remember, the body, kaya, dasaka, body decade, hadaya, dasaka, hat, and the gender decade also arise together at the same time. So although it is already there, it exists together, but this gender matter is actually what? It is the manifestation of femininity or masculinity, you know, the manner or the way or the
for male and female
features,
the behavior as well.
No? So at that time, in that little kalapa, there is no features of being a man or
it
being
doesn't
a
have
woman.
even a fetus yet. You cannot know if it is a boy or a girl, not yet. It is only just something, some matter.
Actually, boy or girl already know because that rupa, either male rupa, either female rupa is there, but it does not have
characteristics,
yes, or characteristic at that time. So therefore, although it is there, it is not strong enough to become a controlling faculty at that time. No, so therefore, this is not included in the Indriya-paccayo.
Yes. So with that, we finish one more.
22 Indriyas. Okay.
And today, I think we should stop here. We stop here.
Yeah.
Some Fusai here in China, the people say samphusai, meaning good work, good effort. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your effort. Yes, we know Patana is deep, and it is just the beginning. Later on, according to our interest, we can go deeper and deeper, and this wisdom becomes clearer and clearer and clearer, because we know some information from before, but now we know how and who is doing that. You will see how it will continue developing through the years. So this is just an introduction, as we have seen, and I think for today is okay.
Yes, it's explaining how things relate to each other, no? Like by what kind of conditions A is related to B. No? So, and these conditions also comes in groups. Now we are studying them one by one, but they are not only one condition for two things, or many conditions also. So there are different combinations. So it's actually interesting, but sometimes it can be a little bit repetitive.
It's okay.
Because why are they repetitive? Because the conditions overlaps. Yes, that's why they repeat. Because I faculty, as we see, it is as well as an control faculty, it is as well born previously, it is as well base. So because they have different conditions, so therefore it repeats because they overlap. No, so therefore we have to go through slowly. And although we still have time today, I think the content is maybe enough.
It's enough. Yeah.
So let's continue next week.
Let's touch base if you wish. If there is a question, comment. And you can turn on your mic and let's touch base. How is it going with the Patana? In short, we always in life is very important cause and effect. For science, cause and effect is very important. For the Buddha's teaching, cause and effect is very important. Patana is looking cause and effect with the microscope. This is what we are doing. This is us, and it is happening already in our mind and our body. So how do you feel, my dear family, with all the content of Patana, and in general, we touch base a little bit and then we close. Anybody? Welcome.
Feel free to switch on your mic if you wish to share something.
How is it arriving? How do you feel? Yes, Don Guillermo, please go ahead.
Well, I'm very surprised. Thank you. It is outstanding. It's complex, very deep complex, and it is not easy to understand the complexity. And also that imagination, fantasy, that things like you mentioned, anxiety and things that happens before, I mean, the future, the effect is the cause at the same time. It's incredible to notice that important part in the relationship between cause and effect. It is amazing to understand that exists as a reality, and not even as an object, but as a reality in our way of processing the information. It's incredible. Yeah, I like that, and that's a very interesting part of that we are learning today.
Yeah, it's very, very shocking at the beginning. How come the effect happens before the cause? Well, the teacher says, yes, the universe is very strange. It can have many, and there are other implications for that one. As we go deeper, you will see the Dhamma never stops surprising. Yes, Don Guillermo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we appreciate very much our communal patience. We are going through quite well. Yes, somebody else who wished to share.
Eduardo wanted to say something.
You were, they look a little.
Yes.
Yes, Andreita, ¿cómo va?
Very good. First of all, thank you so much, because it's amazing how you're explaining, and I guess you invest a lot of time on doing the slides, but it's totally worth it. It's very easy to comprehend that way. I mean, it's very, very complex, and it's very deep what we're talking about, but it makes it way easier. So thank you so much. On my side, I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, we can see your face. Smile a lot.
It happens like Nancy. Just by hearing, it feels a lot of joy, and yes. I really, really like it.
How weird.
Yes. And I was talking to Eduardo before the class, and I was telling him, like, I'm really liking Patana, because you see little details that happens when I'm practicing like formal meditation, and it's like, oh yeah, that's why. Oh yeah, that's why. Like some relation, and the explanation is really nice. So I'm enjoying a lot. Thank you so much.
Very good. That's the biggest treasure, Andreita, to be able to take all this complexity, to see it in our own practice, in our daily life. Then is when it starts giving real fruits, because wow, this is happening because of this Paccaya, that one, and the wisdom starts. This is, my dear family, we have been building wisdom throughout the months and years. These 2 years we have been building wisdom. Patana, it comes and polishes it. This wisdom make it bright, make it clear without ambiguity. You know why, and eventually when we get skillful at it, or hopefully we all arrive to that point, we will be able to explain clearly why nature is as it is, into the very minute detail. And yes, it is like a polishing. We're very happy, Andreita, for sadhu, 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 for applying it on daily life. This is the best reward we could get out of the effort put on these classes. Thank you so much.
Later on in chapter 9, we will also study the 10 steps of Vipassana Jnana, the Vipassana wisdom, how the wisdom grow until enlightenment, until enlightenment happens. So when we practice any Vipassana, what needs to be known, what step by step, what kind of understanding arise, and then until enlightenment. So the first one is called Nama Rupa Paricheda Jnana. So Nama Rupa Paricheda Jnana means we know what mind is. Clearly. How clearly mind is mind, metta is metta. So they are different. So we know mind, what is mind and what is metta, knowing Nama and Rupa clearly. So in the Abhidhamma Sangaha, the previous chapter is only explaining about what is mind, what is metta. So we need to know. So with all this information, it is helping us during our practice and our meditation to know what is the characteristic of lobha, what is the characteristic of dosa, how does it work, like and what is rupa. Rupa is not together mixed, not associated. No, with mind, they are different things, they have different characteristics. Why they arise, they have what cause. So all these things, then what is nama, what is rupa, with this understanding, and now really experiencing it, understanding it, that is the first understanding Nama Rupa Paricheda Jnana, first step of Vipassana Jnana. Then the next one is called Paccaya Parigaha Jnana. Paccaya Parigaha Jnana, understand cause and effect. Now it comes to Paṭicca-samuppada and the Patana. So after knowing what is what, we have to understand what is the cause of it, what is the effect, what is the cause, what caused this, why this, and why like that, why does it happen, so how it arises. So these two are basic, the first two steps of Vipassana Jnana, until then later it gets higher and higher. The next steps we have to understand anicca, dukkha, anatta. So many times people just jump to understand. I want
trying
to understand
anicca, dukkha, anatta. No possible. You need to understand the other one.
That jnana is later.
Anicca of what? Anicca of mind and matter. But you must know mind and matter.
Without understanding mind and matter and cause and effect, it is not yet there. So then after understand this, then the real understanding of anicca, dukkha, anatta, then it goes higher and higher.
So my dear family, even the complexity of all of this, please never be discouraged, because actually all these hours we have been sitting here, we are investing directly for our enlightenment. That's why the Buddha taught this. Right now, we may be thinking, well, I'm studying something. No, we're not studying. We are working towards our enlightenment. The Buddha explained all this because he knew very clearly, before you get enlightened, you must know anicca. Anicca of what? You must know what clearly is mind, what clearly is body. This is what we are doing. So actually, we are investing time. We are practicing right now for the wisdom that will be necessary for us to be totally free for our happiness. So in short, we are sitting here because we want to be free from suffering and happy, deeply happy and free. So this is, I think, it's a very good investment, although yes, it takes some effort, but the Buddha was very wise. He knew what he was doing. We can trust.
Our teacher also says that whatever it may be, sometimes we might not understand everything. Sometimes we forget something. It doesn't matter.
No problem.
Because this is also, it will become Upanisaya force for our next life. If we don't get enlightened in this one, it is going to become Upanisaya intensive support for our our next one, to continue practicing.
Yes, at least we already heard the teaching. We didn't digest it fully, but we already heard, we already have some idea. Next time, in the next Āsevana, in the next repetition of the content, we will not be on the same place that we started. We will see a little bit further until we get enlightened.
And if we get enlightened in this very life, well, it's the best. But if not, anyway, and nothing is waste, our teacher said, because it goes. This is the only thing that we carry. Yes. The only thing that that can be taken away, the potential. No?
Can be taken away. All this study will not go away. So sometimes when we remember and we rejoice on listening, oh, there might be that we have listened that thing before. I also share that happiness when you hear it's like, is something inside that we cannot explain. Yes. Yeah, if we are, si el río suena es porque agua lleva. So we are sitting here. There is already some liking for wisdom. So we can be happy for all of us.
Thank you so much for sharing, yes. Andrea.
Thank you, Andreita. Very happy about it. Somebody else, my dears. Somebody else before.
Eduardo, algo?
Yeah, I just want to, as Andrea said, to thank you very much for the classes, for the material. I really appreciate it. And also for the patience, because I know it's like a really deep topic. So thank you very much also for the patience. I mean, for us as students.
Yeah, your enthusiasm makes our patience easier, because you are there and your energy is also, we know we know you're gonna be here Monday. Well, for us it's Monday morning, so that it is a mutual. We are supporting mutually, and hopefully, we are sure we are at the end of this course almost. We are in the end of Patana almost, and then the 9th chapter, which is the most important one, how to practice all what we learned, and then we will have this course on YouTube, and I think that will be a great contribution for hopefully stay for long, and many more people than us can be benefited by this.
Yes, also thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, because of your understanding and of your enjoying that, then it gives meaning to the preparation. Yes. Otherwise, it's so silly, you know, like you spend the whole week doing things that people just don't enjoy or don't understand what you're talking about, then that would be depressing. Yes, that would be depressing. So thank you so much.
Your enthusiasm is our gasoline.
Yeah, so we continue together, and next week let's see if we can finish the other pacchayas. They are quite similar.
Yeah, I think we finish next week, and then we give a last revision. I don't know if we are going to the groups to see a little bit.
I will
groups?
check. No,
we see if we're going to the groups. Otherwise, we are finishing Patana, ladies and gentlemen. We are entering the 9th chapter.
Not yet. But still have something.
But still some things. Yes, still some things, but yes, we are close. We are close, my dear family. How to apply all this? So if somebody else to have something, or we close, everybody okay? No one? Okay, my dear.
Thank you so
much. Thank you very much. Please take care, be safe, and best wishes for all the family. Let's share the merits of our noble efforts, being here, being patient, and setting up this effort after your long day and long week. Thank you so much. May the fruits of this arising from these wisdom seeds be plentiful for ourselves, our family, neighbors, children, grandchildren, and all the people who enter in contact with us. May we embody all this wisdom and be able to apply it. So the benefits of well-being and happiness be spread around us in an immediate environment, and hopefully for the beings who need it the most. There are many people suffering. We know of many people who are sick of COVID and of other things. People is dying close to our families. So we remember the people that is going, may they go in peace. If they can be safe, hopefully the understanding of the medical services is and the resources are enough. And for the people who have lost somebody, may they find consolation in understanding nature. If we can do something for that aim to arrive, let's be ready with all the kindness and kind listening heart. May all beings be free from suffering. Here and there is a lot of suffering going on. We are very fortunate. Let's make the best use of this opportunity. Sabitijo piwajantu sokoro govinyasatu mate bawat wantarayo sukhi dikayuko bawang Abhivadana silisa nichambuta pachajino chatarodama vadanti ayuvano sukhambalam bhavatu sabha mangalam rakantu sabha devatam sabha buddhanu sandamanu sanganu bhavena sabha sukhim bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Que todas las bendiciones, especialmente aquellas surgidas de la sabiduría, nos acompañen siempre, queridos. Muchas gracias. Oh, I'm Spanish already. Thank you very much, everyone. We love you. Stay well. Have a sweet dream.
Good night.
See you on the next
week.
one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We continue.
Bye-bye.